36.8. As of today, I'm currently on day 3 of 14 days of quarantine because I recently flew to Florida to see my family. So I live in Canada, downtown Toronto to be more specific. Before flying, traveling during COVID was a bit of a mystery to me because I didn't know what the rules were or if I was even able to. Well, I did know that when flying back into Canada, I'd have to spend 14 days in quarantine, but the rules in Florida were unclear as there didn't appear to be any. So with this video, I'm gonna try to quickly narrate what it was like to fly through COVID. So I knew that I would have to quarantine when I arrived back, so I decided to drive myself to the airport so I could drive myself home.
It is 5:39 in the morning.
But I like to save money, so I didn't park at the airport. I parked close to the airport and then Ubered the rest of the way.
So my Uber's coming, so I'm gonna grab my bags and head to the airport. It's only around the corner. Thank you so much. Take care.
When entering the airport, it said that masks were mandatory and that only passengers and employees were allowed inside. It was early, it was about 6 in the morning, and the airport was pretty empty. So I walked in and I checked the board to see if my flight was on time, and it was, and apparently every other flight was too. The airport was super quiet, and the only gathering of people were the people waiting in line for security.
Hello. To Fort Lauderdale.
So some of the features that the airport is implementing is to have the traveler do as much on their own as possible. Airports have had self-serve kiosks for a while now, but those are being implemented even more. So I printed off my own bag tag, I brought it over to the contactless drop-off, laser scanned the bag looking for the tag, and then off it went down the conveyor belt.
No, I have to wait in line.
After waiting in line for about 10 minutes, I got to a temperature checkpoint. When it's your turn, you step up, you face forward as if you're about to get your picture taken, and 8 feet away is a sensor that detects your temperature.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
I didn't film myself going through security, but it was uneventful.
Lauderdale, seated in zone 124 to board at.
I don't know how many passengers were on my flight, but there was probably only about 20 people.
Oh, how are you?
I didn't know what to expect when I flew, so I was a little nervous. I actually went out and bought latex gloves. My sister advised me to buy cotton to put in my ears. I was gonna wear my sunglasses the whole time to protect my eyes. So once I was on the plane, I was a bit more relaxed because there wasn't very many people on it. I had the whole row and almost the whole aisle to myself, so I didn't wear the latex gloves, I didn't put the cotton in my ears, but I was still careful about what I touched and what I didn't touch.
Sit back, relax, enjoy the flight. Anything we do to make your ride more enjoyable or comfortable, don't hesitate to ask. We're glad to try to help you out as best we can. Once again, welcome on board.
On the plane, mask wearing was mandatory, and we were advised not to move around the cabin unnecessarily.
Also, we'd like to remind you that face coverage should cover your mouth and nose at all times.
The airline even provided a welcome fly safe care package, which I'll break down on my flight home. Anyway, the plane took off, I passed out, and before I knew it, we landed.
Welcome to Fort Lauderdale. Local time is 11:53 a.m. When you plane, we would like to remind you to keep physical space between yourself and other customers.
So when I got off the plane in Fort Lauderdale, no one was there to check your temperature. You kind of just go and walk towards baggage claim. What I didn't notice in person, but I did notice when I started editing this, is that the escalators at the airport had a sign that said that they used ultraviolet light to clean the handrail, or as they wrote, ultra UV, which is ultraviolet. I don't know if that's some new technology.
Hello, I'm Robert County Mayor Steve Geller. Bienvenidos a todos nuestros amigos latinos. Welcome to the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. During your stay, we hope you pay some health or tennis, or enjoy a bike ride, or our award-winning parks and beaches.
And on the PA, there was a recording that was trying to make you feel comfortable that they're taking the protocols necessary to keep people safe.
We have enhanced the cleaning and sanitation of all public areas. As you know, COVID-19, also known as the coronavirus, has made its way to Florida, with more cases being reported around the world every day. The Broward County Aviation Department is working closely with all our airport partners to ensure our guests have a safe, comfortable, and clean environment. For your protection, we installed additional hand sanitizer stations near our security checkpoints, our restrooms, and other locations. Your safety is our priority. Safe travels, and thank you for choosing Fort Lauderdale International Airport.
Toronto had recently gone into a lockdown just after I booked my ticket, so I called the airline and asked if I was even still able to fly. The only thing they had mentioned to me was, oh yeah, you have to download the ArriveCAN app in order to get back into the country, which is that app right there. So after spending 10 days with my family in Florida,
Got it.
it was time to go home.
Bags packed. Car's packed. Time to go back home. Here we go. It's deserted here on the car rental return. All the entrances are blocked.
And possibly because of low demand, although it was a budget rental, it told you to drop the car off at Avis.
Myers, yeah.
When I got inside the terminal, surprise, surprise, it was empty.
Empty.
Your passport, please?
Okay.
Let me just take your temperature.
Oh, great.
Did you download this?
I did.
Okay, good.
Prior to getting to the airport, I had to go into the app and answer some health questions and acknowledge that I'm aware that I have to self-quarantine when I get home. When I completed that, it gives you a code that you would then show the border service agent.
Okay, D3. Thank you so much. Have a good one. So I just went through checkpoint and I had to do the passport scan myself and then just take my mask off to show that it was in fact me. Now I'm just about to go through security. Yeah, nothing but Starbucks seems to be open. Got my snack for the plane, or for right now. The place is pretty empty. Maybe 20 people behind me. This mask is not gonna work well on the flight, so I'm gonna change it right now. Wow, that's hot.
Preparation for departure, please ensure that your seat back and tray table are upright and your seat belt is fastened. Aisles and exits need to be clear, and baggage including large electronic devices such as laptop computers must be safely stowed. Portable electronic devices should be set to the airplane mode. If your electronic device...
Hello there.
How are you? Oh, thank you so much.
Good, how are you? I love your shirt.
Thank you. My dad got it for
I've
me.
never seen it.
I know, look at that.
The flight attendant loved my shirt and I was all excited to tell her more about it, but turns out she didn't care and she just moved on to the next customer,
Hello there.
which I thought was funny. Oh yeah, as for that Clear Care kit that they supplied, inside was a mini water bottle, a letter from the chief medical officer, mini hand sanitizer, earphones, a cookie, and a disposable mask.
Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we have adjusted our onboard service to ensure everyone's safety. We ask that you kindly refrain from congregating in the aisles and galleys and to limit movement.
I took some of the flight time to edit my brother's 50th birthday video where we went on a dive trip near Key West. One thing I am a little surprised about is that although there was only 20 people on the plane, they were kind of seated in pockets or groups. Like for myself, personally, I was seated directly behind someone else and directly in front of someone else, while rows upon rows were empty. That's a little strange.
Please be ready to show your arrived canned receipt when seeking entry into Canada.
Thank you so much. Take care.
It was late at night, but the place was deserted. Before you get to the customs agent, you have to go to the self-serve kiosk, and there you acknowledge that you must quarantine for 14 days. Again, I didn't film the border service agent part because I don't think I'm allowed to.
So that process was relatively painless. I just had to show my app that I had filled out the app. I answered a few questions about where I went, where I was self-isolating, and why my family didn't join me on the trip. It's a Saturday night at around 9:45, and it's deserted. That's it. Florida and back.
Normally I would just jump in an Uber or take the train downtown, or even be lucky enough for my wife to pick me up. But this time I tried to find a way to get to my car that would lower the risk of spreading anything to anyone else. So I jumped on an airport tram and it brought me to a nearby parking lot, but that was still 1.5 kilometers from my car.
Okay, I'm almost back at my car, but now I've got to walk.
So I walked. And before I knew it, I was back at home. So that was my flight through COVID. It was definitely an interesting experience and opened my eyes as to what it's like to travel during a pandemic. I'm currently in my 14-day quarantine, although I don't fully, I want to say agree. I'm not a scientist, I can't speak on that level, but life is good and I hope you're well. Thank you for watching.
There's a shark.